Okay, welcome back to today's video. Again, this is Chess Squatch. We are doing a rating climb. We are currently rated 1615, and today we are going to be trying to break 1700 ELO on chess.com. We've only been playing one opening in this series, unless we make a mistake, and that is the Stonewall attack. It is my personal favorite opening because each move flows together. It's really hard to blunder. As you can see here, we've gotten 13 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and we've only made 3 blunders so far, 24 great moves and 2 brilliant moves. We're going to try to get some more brilliant moves today and just see how far we can get. And again, we're going to review each and every game, try to see what we can learn from them, and try to improve as we go. Hopefully you find this enjoyable. Go ahead and subscribe, like, make sure you don't miss out on any of these future videos. And then also let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are, if there's any other openings you'd like to see me play, or if there's any moves I miss, because likelihood is there's going to be some really good moves I miss. Just go ahead and shoot them in the comments and see if anyone else sees them. Without further ado, let's jump into the games. So we're going to go ahead and get a 10-minute game. Again, we're 1615. We're playing Pankon Pukis from Indonesia, and he starts with the move g3, and he's rated 1631. So again, in the Stonewall setups, you're usually going to start with d5, and with black you're going to then play e6 to try to bring your dark squared bishop out early to the d6 square, and then you usually are going to push this pawn up 2 spaces, and that's to bring your knight here. That way it doesn't get trapped behind it. Gives your king a really nice safe place to go. You know, he can line up on both sides, doesn't really matter. You're gonna see here. And then if they ever push this pawn, you always have this c pawn that can create a little getaway square for your bishop. Just always remember that. We're just going to castle and kind of keep an eye on what the opponent's doing, see if they're going to try to castle. It looks like they're going to go to the king side as well. So that doesn't really change our setup. One of the major plans we have in the Stonewall is to bring our light squared bishop, which currently is kind of just sitting, you know, stuck behind pawns at the moment. We can activate it by, it's 3 moves, but we get it to the H file on H5, and then it can apply a lot of pressure on this this knight over here. So that's one of my favorite plans, and then we can finish by bringing out the knight afterwards. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do that, get it over on this side of the board. Looks like he's maybe potentially wanting to push. He just wants to get out of that pin, which is smart. I think we can push this pawn just to reinforce the rest of our pawn chain. This is a really good setup to go for. So I think he wants to take our bishop, which honestly, I think we can just let him do that, because that bishop's not particularly good. Also, when he comes here, he is attacking this weak pawn, so we definitely don't want to blunder a fork between our rook and queen. So that's a very common theme here. You usually can just like slide over the queen here. It also double protects the bishop, so no problems there, but just make sure everything stays guarded, defended. Now we have the option: do we take with the knight or the queen? Yeah, that's a good thing to think about. I like the knight because it puts some pressure on this square. Maybe we'll want to, you know, maybe there'll be some tactics where we can sacrifice it in the future. The queen, however, is also really good on the H file. So they both kind of have their pros and cons. I think I'm just going to go with the knight. and see what he does. If he pushes this, we can open the F file up for our pieces. And we can bring our last minor piece to the party, connect all of our rooks. We can bring it to the center here. I don't think there's anything else to really think about there. We could try to trade bishops. I don't think necessarily want to go for that. I kind of want to bring my queen here and potentially set up for a sacrifice. Right now it doesn't work because his queen is there, but things can change very quickly. So I think we can just come here, then maybe bring another rook to the center, and just kind of leave some of this pressure here. It's kind of hard to tell where the opponent's wanting to attack as well. But so far, I really like our position. There's no major weaknesses. Let's try to think where he's coming. He's probably going to try to kick our queen away, which is probably fine. Just make sure you always have a square to go to. So yeah, I think we're okay with that. The one problem with this bishop is it doesn't allow us to do our normal rook lifting idea, which is very common in these types of positions. Is come up here. Since we've pushed this pawn up too, it really opens the square for the rook to come up and over. So as you can see, that's not a plan anymore because he would just take it. So now he's threatening a battery. Just gotta make sure we always have control of this square, which we do. Currently have 2 pieces defending that. Yeah, I'm thinking now that he traded this pawn, we do have the option to come up this way with the rook and potentially swing over in the future. That's an idea. But one thing that I just remembered was if he moves this queen, we still do have this potential battery ourselves. The only thing is this knight is being really annoying and protecting against the checkmate if we do sacrifice. So I don't think now's the time for that. I think we can just bring another piece and go for there, or we I don't know. Yeah, let's just go for this for now. Just kind of wait and see what the opponent's going to do. Okay, so he is going to which is fine. All right, and we can always go back if we need to. So, just my thought process, I'm just keeping this sacrifice in mind. I don't know, he's kind of just going back. Maybe he wants to draw. It's kind of boring. If he goes back, we can just go back and say no draw. Or we can even slide to the H file. I don't want to draw. No, thank you. We now have the option to slide a rook over. However, our queen is in a pretty precarious spot. If it was to be attacked, it would have no squares to go to. So you always got to be careful. Make sure you don't get your rook trapped. I mean your queen. Keep saying rook. Okay, so let's see here. Thinking we just slide back over and then still try to set up this and just kind of wait and see what the opponent's gonna do. If he just keeps going back here with this knight, it might just be a draw, which is okay. There we go. I think now's the time. We can sacrifice. However, he can always just go back. So we need a response to that. I think we could bring our knight forward first to take away this square. And then I think we're good to go. All our pieces are ready. Now if he goes back, we can just take. If he has to push this pawn, you know, he's just blocking in his bishop. So that would be funny to see that. We have 3 minutes left. I gotta do better with time management. I feel like I'm not doing the best, but that's okay. We're getting into it. Here comes the sacrifice. And there it is. Check and checkmate. Almost checkmate. Let's see if we go check. We can then come out. How do we do this? Could push. Well, either way, we can still win the bishop unless he comes forward. I mean, that looks really dangerous. So, we're still winning our piece back, I believe. We got 2 minutes. I gotta definitely hurry up here. Oh, looks like they left. There was one thing I just realized. He still had this battery. So, I'm actually not sure we could have gone for this completely because, you know, I at least taken the bishop because then they would have checkmate. So I think this would be an instructive one to do the game review to see if that was a worthy sacrifice. I was kind of setting that up the whole game. Let's see if it was brilliant or maybe it was just a complete blunder. We can learn together here. So let me see here. Let me pull up the game review. Okay, we'll refresh this. Okay, here we go. Let's do some review. We did get the win, but it was a dicey game. Usually the first ones always are. Shoot. Yeah, it looks like he was completely winning. Although we did have a brilliant move, so there we go. We got the brilliant move. Wait, no, we were black. What am I talking about? We were crushing. Okay, let's flip this. So he started. You guys all saw the game. We just got our Stonewall set up the way we wanted. Brought the bishop around. He decided to trade. We brought our knight. And we had everything connected, everything kind of aimed at the king, ready to go. He took the pawn. We brought a rook up. There was a little bit of shuffling here for a bit. It's saying I probably could have tried to open things up earlier. So that was like my big miss, I guess. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Let's see what we could have done. So if we pushed, we could then sacrifice there and then line up our rooks, kind of just dominate everything here. And then the bishop is also playing, like all of our pieces are aimed at the king, so I can see why this would be pretty good. I'm thinking maybe even sacrificing the rook for that bishop to open things up could be potentially a really smart move. Let me see this. Analysis. Where is the analysis here? So let's see here. Let's say he does something random, you know, whatever. That's what I would have thought to do. And then, but I guess it would have been better to take here, because he can't really take back. That's just checkmate. Yeah, it's just over at this point. You're coming over this way. Okay, I don't know why I thought the bishop would be better. I just saw this weak pawn, and this is still crushing. I mean, you're still gonna win this piece here. You know, he pretty much has to do that. But if he goes here, you know, you just take, and then pretty much next move is checkmate. So he'd have to just trade queens. But you're still crushing. Okay. Anyways, had the miss there. Oh, let's go back. So, had the miss to open things up. Decided to go back, and then now we brought our knight in to defend against this. I guess I had another miss. I could have gone for the... saying I could have gone for the sacrifice immediately. Let's see why that is. So we take, we take. Can't he just come back? That's not the point. What's the point? The point is to come with check first. And then what? Stockfish is crazy. I don't know what Stockfish is doing. So, you know, that you're threatening both pieces here. I guess that's the main purpose of this is, you know, you can... Wait, what? I'm so confused. Okay, we're not going to get into all of that. Let's see here. Reason we brought it here was really just to prevent this knight from coming back. It also blocked off things here, so I thought that was a really good move. Gave it like a questionable move, but as you can see, they brought their knight back, and it was instantly a blunder because we can take and then go for the brilliant sacrifice. You can see here. Let's see what the follow-up would have been. It's saying to bring the rook first to threaten the bishop, and it also defends the checkmate threat. So like I said, we probably couldn't have brought the bishop in and gone for this. Well, let's see actually. So check comes forward. We would have to go back to defend against the checkmate. Saying the best move for him would be to actually trade queens, which is crazy. Let's see if he does something else. Anything else we can just open everything up on the king. It's in the middle of the board. You know, if he takes, it's over. We can then take again. We can do a discovered check. Like this is nasty. Check. And then checkmate. So you can see here the king was just so weak in this position, and that's why the knight opening up everything was so brilliant. So and yeah, they just left the game after that. So let's go ahead and get another one. Hopefully you saw that review. Hopefully it was helpful. I don't know, there was got a lot in the weeds there. So let's just find our next game. We're 1632, climbing the ladder. Let me update the wins, 14, and we did get one more brilliant move. I do believe we had a great move as well. So 3 brilliant moves and 25 great moves. No blunders. Oh, let's see. It's our turn to move first. So we're going to go d4. He pushes to e5 first. We can always just take back. We do want to get our bishop out as soon as possible. So let's see if we can do that. He might push forward, and that's always a little frustrating. You kind of have to switch things up here. Just push this pawn. We can just block that, no problem. Thinking we just go for queen trade. Oh yeah, he can take that pawn over there. Guess I missed that. Let's see here. I'm thinking we could bring our knight to defend the bishop and try to go for like a really quick castle to attack this weak pawn here. So we did lose pawn. That's not a problem though. Just bring out another piece. Okay, I'm thinking we force the issue here. Don't want to let them get any sort of an advantage here. This is the Drunken Sensei from Nigeria. So we didn't really quite get what we wanted from the opening. This move opens up an attack on our queen. We can always defend that square pretty easily. I kind of like that. Just preventing him from coming forward. However, if he did come forward, we could have gone for the rook in the corner. So wouldn't have been so bad. I'm thinking we can just play this down a pawn and hopefully have an instructive game. Maybe it's not a great idea, but I think we'll get a lot more. We have a lot more pieces developed. Now we have our full rook in the game. So, yeah, I think that'll be good for us. So I'm thinking we could have a pretty big center here, central control, open up the bishop, and bring our last rook, connect them. Our king's pretty safe now that there's no queens. We're down a pawn, but I think we could probably win this endgame. If he ever tries to jump over here to attack the weak pawn, we can always just defend with our king. So no issues there. We could push. That's an idea. I think we could also line our bishop up this way instead of developing it on this diagonal. I kind of like grabbing more space and then having this as kind of like a sneaky attack. So I think that's exactly what I'm gonna go for. Again, I'm just gonna bring the rooks. Gonna save the rook. Could also try to trade this bishop if we want to. Theirs is very, very powerful. They could probably cement it there if they wanted to. So that's something I'm keeping in my mind. So I made this move because I just wanted to open up the bishop more, as well as this pawn is being attacked twice, if you count it, 1, 2, and we only had the knight that was defending, so I didn't want to lose another pawn. Figured that could be dangerous. I figured he could also come here, but we can always sidestep. Also defends the pawn. Potentially opens up this. Yeah, we could go for the sacrifice if we wanted to. Or that was a pretty good move. I forgot he could just bring both out. Probably should have played this first. Yeah. Let's see here. What can we do? We can just start going forward. Could just give up this pawn. I think we can give this up. Hopefully. Guess we'll see. He could go crazy. Yeah, he's gonna take the pawn. So I think now we see here. Now we can push. And this does open an attack on the bishop if he's not careful once we take back. So let's see what happens here. Now he's got 2 pieces under attack. So we want a piece back, which I think is pretty good. As well as he's stepping into this pin. I think we can just go for that. See here, we just come here. We're threatening another piece. So where is he gonna go? He can only go here or here. If there's something defending it, it could almost be checkmate here in the corner, but it's defended as well. So see here, we can threaten to take back with the king, and 2 minor pieces is better than a rook. If you do count up the material, rook's only worth 5. These are both worth 3, so this would be worth 6. So we would be doing much better in that position as well. I like our rook here. It's defending our bishops really well. Our bishop's defending our knight. Everything's really defended. So we kind of came back. We were a very interesting situation there for a second, but I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do anyways. So we just take. Now we're up 1 point of material, which is always good. See here, we could threaten a trade here of rooks. Kind of want to keep my rook though. Like I said, it's a really good piece. We can reroute knight here. We could come this way. I do like this square for the knight. We got 3 minutes though, so we gotta go a little bit faster. Let's do this. Let's see, he wants to trade potentially. Now maybe we'll go back and defend against that. Knights in the center of the board are going to be doing the most, controlling the most squares. So, like for example, he can't come here with his rook. He can't go there. Just takes away a lot of squares. So I think we can just keep our knight here. The only thing bad about it is it's blocking our bishop. But so far, everything's defended. So I think we're okay. Thinking this square is available to us, so we could potentially try to invade. It's one idea. We can go for it. Just gotta not make a mistake here, and we should be okay. Easier said than done. So we could go for the check. Can always come back if we need. Sure, we'll go for the trade now. Just gotta make sure we have a very active king. So we're gonna take some squares away from him. We always have this move available to defend the bishop. I think we can go for it as it would be a fork between the pawn. So there we go, he stepped into it himself. Does weaken this pawn up as well. So I do like that aspect of it. Can always come back. So now we're up 2 pawns. Just gotta be careful of his rook not being able to invade. Yeah, that's fine. He can come down here, I guess. He really wants to. I can always block with the bishop here. This takes away more squares. We're just really trying to keep his pieces at bay. I think the only thing he has going for him are these 3 pawns, but we should have enough pieces to protect against that. We can even start our own push here on the other side of the board. So yeah, we can take let's see if this looks good. I believe so. He can't defend. He could push it first, but we can just slide over, or we could just take. I think I'm gonna slide over. And then now we have our bishop to defend. Just does not have enough pieces to do anything really. But we are very low on time, so we gotta speed up a little bit. So I can take this. We can slide over. Try to win by force. try to get him to step on a red square, try to win the bishop. Just make sure we keep control of this promotion square. We should be good. Oh, ran out of time. Okay, I was not paying attention there. Okay, so we did get our third loss. Let me update. We can do a little bit of game review. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. It was pretty self-explanatory, I think. And I just played so slowly that game. What was I doing? I did not realize I was that low on time. And he only had 12 seconds too. Wow. Okay. Let's do this. Let's come back. Update everything. It's sad to see the loss, but time is always a piece to be aware of. Make sure you're managing your time. That end game just got a lot more complicated than it should have. I probably shouldn't have traded my rook. I think after that I was just trying to make sure everything was supported. And, probably made a few mistakes. So let's take a look at that game. We played 77% accuracy. We were winning, so we did have one blunder. I'll update that as well. One blunder. 2 great moves, so we're up to 27 great moves. Let's go through that. It looks like we were losing at one point. I think this was towards the beginning. Right around here, it's saying this was a mistake. It's kind of blocking everything off. I kind of liked having it there just to put pressure, but yeah, we kind of did get into a little bit of a challenging situation here, but it does show that this was the best move here, just letting them take. We kind of saw that. I guess I could have sacrificed. Would have taken, and then we could come in. That does actually look pretty good, sacrificing the rook and then yeah, but I just tried to open everything up. We won the bishop back, and this was where we kind of started falling apart. It's probably going to show that trading the rook here, it says it was good, but practically speaking, after this it just got very difficult. We did win a couple pawns here. We made a mistake. He could have maybe done something else. I'm not sure. Started pushing sooner, I guess. So yeah, I just ran out of time. Let's go to the next one. Going the wrong way. We're back to where we started. So we got a e4. I usually like to prepare this move. Yeah, let's go for it. If they take, we just can take back. No problems. We'll still go for kind of a Stonewall setup, just without the c-pawn. That's great. Clamps down on the middle. The biggest difference now is like this bishop we can just keep on this diagonal if we want, or we can bring our knight out this way, which you usually don't have the option to with the pawn there. So thinking we can maybe jump in, or we could bring this knight first. Just still kind of waiting to see where he's gonna go. If he does decide to castle long, we can then use the c file, which I think would be really good. Yeah, let's do this. Let's jump into the center. If they take, we can always take back. Obviously, he can't take with this knight because it would blunder the fork between these two pieces. So he saw that and he took the right way. Let's see here. These moves threaten this and this. But we could just move our knight to defend with the bishop. We could actually bring it this way, as we're going to want to attack on the king side. So I kind of like that. Did I miss something? If we take not really sure what the whole point of that was. I guess just for 2 pawns for a piece. But now we can just jump our knight to the center of the board. We can always take the bishop if we want. That looks pretty good to me. Again, I'm still just trying to open up the bishop eventually and bring the rook to the game. I think it'll do a lot of damage there. So on the c file, as it lines up directly with the king. But we got to keep an eye on the time. Last game we fell apart there, so we are down a minute. Let's keep up a pretty decent pace. Okay. Guess he's just going for his own thing. We could actually, I don't know. Thinking we could also bring it to this diagonal since, oh my gosh. Alright, well, we can at least set up this threat to try to win the rook. He has to save the knight, so it's not completely over. Let's see what he decides to do. Okay. If we go here, yeah, that actually helps open up the king for us. So honestly, I'm kind of glad he took that pawn. That's great for us. Great news. Wait, I could have just taken... Oh my gosh, I'm missing everything today. What am I doing? Oh my gosh. Just gave the piece right back to us. It's okay, some days I guess we're just like that. Yeah, we can just take... Actually kind of like my knight there though, so... Thinking we go for this. Go for more for an attack and just kind of leave that. Okay. Can we line up again and just try to get ready for some sort of tactic? Then you open up. And we try to open things up. If he takes, we can take, because checkmate is on b1. He wouldn't be able to take back unless he wants to lose. So, and he could go for this, but then we're coming in. He could go for to try to win a pawn, but then we can take and potentially advance. Okay. Could try to just sacrifice this pawn. Kind of like the look of that. Does not take it. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, he's playing this pretty. It's kind of hard to break through this. Now, probably should have just taken. Let's see. What can we do? I'm thinking we try to sacrifice the bishop. Again, the same threat is still lingering there. He sees this. So guess we could maybe just go back. Just have to find a way through. Which I'm not seeing. Dang it. Okay, I have an idea. It's probably a terrible move, but we're gonna go for it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. I was hoping my rook would be able to stay there and we could march the pawn forward. Fortunately, no. Yeah, this is pretty much over. Don't have any more pieces. I'll play a couple more moves and then probably just resign, see if he makes some sort of mistake. Try to go for this. Never knows, maybe he'll blunder a drawn position. Doesn't look very likely though. Okay, good game. Let's go do a new one. We've lost 2. Let me update that actually first. So 4 losses. I'm sure we had some blunders in that game, but we're already going, so come on, let's do this. Got d4. Gonna bring out our bishop. Try to get some. Honestly, this opening isn't the best for brilliant moves just because it's pretty simple. There's not a ton of sacrificing you always do, but you definitely can get there as you've seen so far. But let's keep going. So far, we've gotten pretty much everything out. Same thing, we can get this bishop out first onto this diagonal. I always like doing that. You could also go for a push of the e-pawn if you wanted to kind of open up the rook. That's a plan. You could try to force a trade here. I'm gonna just start with this one. Let's see what they do. Sorry, I keep knocking things over. He's trying to threaten a fork between these 2 pieces, so we gotta take back at least once. Or we could push it ourselves. That would work too. Yeah, I'm thinking we push it ourselves. If he takes, we can take back. Or just leave it. Yeah, we can take and then now the rook defends the bishop. If he takes this way, we can always can always come this way. Oh shoot, he is gonna be able to win this pawn. Actually no, you'd get trapped. It's kind of funny. Yeah, not quite. But he could maybe win this pawn. He attacks the rook, but we attack the queen. He's got to stay somewhere to defend this. Yeah, so we will have time to save the rook. Could also take if we wanted. Actually might have to. He could take this pawn now. So yeah, I'm gonna take and then bring out the other knight. So let's see here. Yeah, he's threatening over here, but we also can't abandon this. It's a pretty good move. We just defend with the queen. It is important we keep control of the open file, so don't want to give that up. I think we can kick out the knight now. He can go there currently, but we can just take the rook. Again, that's 2 minor pieces for the rook, so it wouldn't be a bad trade for us. Now I'm thinking we can double up here to attack the knight as the bishop moved. It's no longer defending it. And it's also good to double rooks. Like I said, I think we wanted this open file, but it's okay. Let's see, we could go for double attack. I mean, we could shoot it forward too. we do that, he could potentially go here. Which threatens this pawn. Actually, it's defended right now, so I think we can safely do this. We can treat our bishop if we need. We're also, let's see here. We also could push forward and try to block out the bishop, which is currently one of the defenders of it. But he right now has 2 attackers, so I think we should go for this first. Okay, I think we try to trade off this rook, as it's in a very active spot, and we need to keep control of this. So we'll have to take with the queen. But we will have eventually 3 pieces attacking the pawn if this knight ever moves, so I do like that. Yeah, it's not terrible. Let's see here, we could go. I think we can get away with this. We'll probably take now. That's my guess. Yep. Let me just take back. So my next ideas are either push and push, potentially bring knight out this way, trade it off, just keep this long diagonal and this pressure here. But we're doing pretty good on time, about on par with where they're at, so that's good. We just go back. This actually helps defend our back rank, which is good. And we could actually bring the knight this way, because it would be a fork between these 2 pieces. And again, we're lining up on this, so he pretty much has to take but I think could we get away with this? see, he has 2 defenders, 2 attackers. It's a pretty good move. I think we go for it and we'll win the 2 minor pieces. Because he won't have time to take our knight. So Sarosa 1 from Indonesia. Let's hopefully win a game and not go back into the 1500s. That would not be good. Okay, there it is. Yeah, he doesn't have time to. I mean, he could maybe try to go for something like that, but then I think that's just gonna be checkmate. So I think we have this position. I don't like how my king is cut off. That's what I don't like. Can win that pawn, yes. I think we can maybe try to advance. Come back. Can we go for this? Yes, he can take another pawn, but at least our king gets off the back rank. So that's good, and now we're threatening to win our own pawn. Maybe a couple pawns. And this also threatens discovered attack if we ever move the knight. So that's why I took with the knight. Let's see what. We can still take the pawn because it's check. Or try to do something else. I'm just gonna take it. Threatening the rook. We're now doing better on time with 1 minute 30 seconds left. So we will have to speed up just a little bit. See here. Can we go here and re-attack it? Defended. I think we can see if they come this way. Just gotta make sure we see if they spawn. Let's see if we bring it back. Can't take. One. Shoot. 10 seconds. Oh my gosh. Shoot, I don't know. I think we messed this up. That was a good move. Dang. Okay, well, there we go. We're just losing everything today. One more loss. Let's go back to the evaluation. So last game, let's see how many moves we had. Let's see. We played really. Looks like we were doing okay, and then I don't know. We had 2 great moves, so let's update that. 29. 1 blunder gives us to 5. Yeah, it looks like that's it. Kind of want to see what happened in this game. Let's flip this. Yeah, we missed pretty much a lot in this. Like, we gave away peace and then he blundered it right back, and we didn't take. Like, that would have been where we could have come back. And then after this, it was just hard to do anything. And yeah, just giving away the queen was not it. But there was not much else to do there. Okay, let's go for the last one. With Sarosa, we got 0 great moves, just 2 blunders there. We were pretty close and had a good game, and then it was just downhill from. Let's see what happened. This was our big blunder. We should have forced the issue first. Because I was just so worried about this fork that this was really the big pressure they had on us. We just didn't see. We did find some good moves throughout, though. I think overall, we got into a pretty interesting endgame, and just, yeah. That was our second blunder, was bringing the king out. Should have I just moved the bishop, I guess. Oh well. Okay, let's go into the next one. Let's try not to mess up in the opening and not lose on time. I feel like we've lost for different reasons every single game, but let's do this. D4. Got some agua. Okay, he is going to go for the early bishop out. Don't think that really changes our plans. Come this way. Unless he pushes his pawn, then we can't do that anymore. So stop the knight from jumping in here. You can always trade with the queen. A lot of people recommend doing that, as it takes away one of their developed pieces, but I prefer to keep our light squared bishop alive. So we're gonna just castle quickly. Yeah, let's castle. Okay, now let's try to take out the bishop. Yeah, we're just gonna take that. We could kick out the knight here. Kind of want to focus on getting my other pieces developed, but we got to make sure we keep an eye on this pawn. So trying to think, where do I want this knight? We could come around this way. Kind of looks fun. Let's do it. It also defends there. I'm not sure which way he's gonna castle either, so I think we can start expanding on this side in case he does decide to castle. Queen side. Right now, it's pretty in the air. This is still defended twice, so we don't need to worry about that. Maybe there was... I don't think so. I don't think there's any tactics we're wondering. We could come up here and try to attack this weak pawn. Might be an idea. Also thinking of this pawn break here. We could push first and then push our a pawn first, so that way he can't push by. Something to always think about whenever you're pushing a pawn is like, what happens if they push by? Well, they can just lock down. Well, in this case, since it is a fork between the two, the pawn and the knight, he has to make a decision, right? He can't just push by, because then you just take the knight. So if he moves the knight or anything, and this knight wasn't here and you're wanting to open things up, it's good to push this pawn first, to not let them push by, and then push, and then come in with your bishop and do whatever else you're wanting to do. Hopefully that made sense. Looks like we're up on time for once, so that's good news. And I do like our position so far. I don't see any major problems with it. I say that, and then he goes for a checkmating attack. We can always we can always just kick out the knight. Yeah, I think now we go for it. So, ooh, that was a pretty good move. I think now we can just trade queens if we want. And then he's gonna have to move the knight. Oh, come on. I could have just taken either way. He would take, but then we would. Obviously, if I took with this, he's got a pretty. Yeah, it'd be over if I took that way. I would have had to. Dang it! I was just playing too fast there. Just went for the queen trade. Wow. Okay. I should have kicked this knight out ages ago before he had the chance to come in. Well, good find from the opponent. Let's update. Up to 6 losses. We were doing so good before today. I think today is just not my day here. So let's go back. Let's review that. 15 moves. Wow. That was bad. We still had 2 blunders. Did have a brilliant move, so good find for the opponent. Was this a blunder? Let's see. Oh, he could have just taken. Yeah, and I would have lost defender over here. Wait, if we take back, what happens? And then he can come in for the same thing. And it's just over. Wow. That is crazy. Okay. Well. And yeah, there's the brilliant queen move just coming back in for mate. Because what happens here? Like, we're probably still just gonna win a pawn, or we. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, we missed it. Let's move on. Let's do the next one. We gotta get back into 1600s at least. What am I doing? Okay, well, let's try to go for this. Let's bring our bishop out first. Yeah. And then let's get the knight out. Castle. I was thinking if maybe there was some sort of tactic for this, but no, it's defended. So Let's see here. Come over this way. Let's make sure we keep everything defended. Just sidestepping this pin. Can always take back with the rook. Yep. Could go to either G6 or H6. Can we come here first? As it lines up with the bishop here. So all we would need to do is get rid of this knight. But he can always jump in this way if he wants as well. Can we keep a place to drop back for our bishop? We always want to make sure we have that. We can bring our knight. This would allow us to take because you can't take back again. Because that would be checkmate. Let's see here, we can defend this way. But that does block bishop in. Might be our only option though, so I'm just gonna go for it. Don't wanna give up that pawn for nothing. Thinking if he takes back, we can try to sacrifice a rook. Maybe. Let's see, we just go back. Our back rake should be okay if we just come back with the bishop. But did lose that pawn, which is not ideal. So can we try to get rid of this pesky knight? Can always come back. Yeah, because we have the bishop. Wait. But our queen hangs, so we have to do it this way. Which at that point you can take. Yeah, okay. Comes here, we can always slide back. Just wanted to get my rook out. I think we just triple up. Oh wow. Okay. Well, feeling like we need to bring shoot. So at least pins the rook to the king, so we can't move it. And that gives us time to make a lift. So okay. Let's see here. Just defends the knight from coming in. And attacks the enemy knight. This has been a wild game too. I really don't think I'm playing that accurate today. Actually I know I'm not playing accurate. I know for a fact. Thinking we could come here to try to threaten the knight again. Won't have anywhere to go except to sacrifice itself, but our knight has this square covered, which is good. Yeah. So there we go. That helped us for sure. This pawn's hanging. It's gonna be hard for them to make progress. Actually, I think we can just take and take. And then win pawns over here and push. Feeling really good now about this game. We got 3 minutes to convert this. So there we go. Got our first win. One great move. Let's change that. 15 wins. Bumps us up to 30 great moves. I did want to review that. Go back. Refresh. Let's do this quickly. See here, we were actually losing at this point. Wait. No, we weren't. Oh, at this point. And then here was, they blundered here. We should have just taken, kind of gone for this. Okay. We brought out the knight, gave up our rook, which, as hopefully you saw, we had to take with the queen. They won the piece there, but then we get to save our rook. So yeah, there was a lot going on, but now he no longer has any. We no longer have any back rank issues. We just kind of, he traded both rooks for his queen, which is a good trade for him, but it was too late because we could convert this and our pieces just kind of dominated everything. Then we trapped his knight at the bottom of the board. Knights can be really easy to trap when they go to the edges of the board, so always try to look for something along those lines. You can see we had all of the, he can only move in these 4 squares, and we took away all of them from him and then brought a piece to the attack, and he had to give it away, and then it's just over then. Okay. Let's see, what does that take us to as far as our rating? Hopefully me failing has helped you to learn what not to do. Let's see here, just gotta reload, refresh. Looks like we are 1585 now, so I do have to call it there. Next time we'll try to get to 1700. We did not. We went the wrong way. We went back to 1585, but that's okay. It's all part of the learning process. Thanks again for joining me. It's been great. This was Chess Squatch. Again, let me know in the comments some moves you found that were good, because I obviously was missing everything today. But thanks again for joining, and we'll catch you on the next one.